In this tutorial, we shall be looking at the loops. We'll take a look at the while loop, then move to the for loop. So let's quickly move to the IDE and start right away. So for the while loop, you have I initialized to 1. Then you move to the body of the while loop. While I is less than 5, print I. Then increment and go back to the loop. Okay, so this loop is going to run for 4 times. Okay, as far as this condition is true, the loop will run for 4 times. All right, so let's give it a try. Okay, so you have the loop run for 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now if you want this loop to run for 5 times, that means we're going to change this to equal to, right? So we're saying, okay, while I is less than or equal to 5, then if the condition is true, print I. So that means this is going to run for exactly 5 times. So let's run it and see. Okay, so you have the loop run for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, all right. So the next thing, let's see how we can add the break statement. Okay, so with the break statement, we're going to say, okay, if I is equal to, remember, this is a comparison operator, is equal to 2, okay, is equal to 2, we're saying now break. Now, so what are we saying here? We're saying, okay, if this is true, if I is equals to 2, okay, and the condition of the while loop is still true, okay, we're saying break. So even though the condition is true, it's going to stop iterating once it gets to the second iteration. Okay, so let's try it and see the output. Okay, so you can see the output. It runs for the first time, the second time, and it breaks. It stops because we said it should break. That even though this condition is true, that the loop should stop running. Okay, so next we're going to look at how to make use of the continue statement. Okay, so and you must be careful about this. All right, so do just come here and just put continue here. If you do this, you're going to have issues. Your code will keep running and you have memory issues and your computer is going to run into problems. Okay, so before you do this, ensure to make sure that you do this. Okay, so that's your initializing here. Okay, and you bring your print here, print I. Okay, all right, so don't also make the mistake of doing this. Okay, so make sure this is here. All right, so we're not saying okay, let's take this to 0. So we're saying okay. Now if you're running this iteration, okay, if you get to the second iteration, skip and move to the third iteration. So let's run and see the output. Okay, so you can see you have the first iteration, but once you get to the second iteration, it skips and moves to the third iteration. All right, okay, so that is it for the while loop. Next, we're going to move to the for loop. Okay, now before we start the for loop, I want to talk to you about two data type. You have the top pool which is this 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is a tuple, right? A tuple is immutable. It means that it cannot be changed, right? You cannot append values, all right? Okay, so let's now look at the next data type, which is a list, which is this. So you have something like this. Okay, so this is a list. Okay, a list you can remove, you can add, you can append, all right? Okay, so this is it for a list. So for the for loop, we're going to create a list of cities. Okay, so you have list of cities. You have the first cities, the New York City. You have Lagos. You have Accra. You have Colorado. Okay, so we're saying okay, for city in cities, print city. So this is a simple for loop that is going to walk through this list and print the city for us. Okay, so let's run it. So you have this loop print New York, Lagos, Accra, Colorado. Okay, the same way we apply the break statement to the while loop, you can also apply the break statement in the for loop. Okay, so we're going to say now, okay, that you should print cities, but we're saying, okay, if you get to, let's say, if city is equal to, remember this is comparison operator, is equal to Accra, okay, we're saying this is a colon, we're saying what? Stop. Okay, we're saying stop. All right, so this is how to apply the break statement. Okay, so let's give it a try and see what the output looks like. Okay, so you have Lagos, Accra, you have New York, Lagos, Accra. Once it gets to Accra, it stops and it didn't go to print Colorado. Okay, okay, so then the next thing, we're going to see how to apply the continue statement. Okay, so for the continue statement, we're going to say, okay, all right, so let's do this. Okay, for city in cities, if city is equal to Accra, okay, we're saying now continue. That means what? Skip. Okay, continue. And remember, your print should not be here, okay, because we're saying, okay, if the city is Accra, then print the next city. So that's what it means. So you put your print statement here, okay, so and you have, okay, so you print the city, all right. Okay, so let's try it and see how it runs and look at the output. All right, so let's look at our solution. You have the New York, you have Lagos, you have Colorado. So we said, okay, once you get to Accra, do print Accra, skip. So that's what we mean by the continue. Move to the next what? Iteration. So that's it for the loops. Okay, so do not hesitate to click on the likes button, subscribe to our channels, and you get more tutorial on Python and other programming language.